The day our trailer was released, from that day, it was 27th of April, and my film was released on 5th of May. One girl, 19 years old, in Twitter and in Instagram, constantly abusing me. Constantly, and she was using all filthy words and all. And on 7th of May, she wrote, very interesting, and I shared with Bhai Sahab also, she wrote, Bhaiya. That is a very interesting thing she wrote. Bhaiya, I am sorry that I abused you for last many days, but I think after watching the film, every patriotic Indian should see the film and people will know that how these terrorists are bringing bad name to my religion. That is, I think, very interesting takeaway. But yes, there are many Muslim women, and interestingly, in Delhi, there are 2-3 Muslim girls are there, social influencer, very young girls, and these girls are kind of doing revolutionary things, like wearing burqa, they are dancing on the road and all these things. So they are basically a rebel by their own reasons. These girls interviewed hundreds of mullahs, hundreds of people with beard and all. In some cases, they got slapped. They got their burqa being teared off. So I mean, very interesting reactions I got. But interestingly, only Muslim women came forward in those cases to tell us that they like the film, or yes, it is true. No, as of now, no Muslim men come to us to say that what did they feel about the film. One in Delhi, one Muslim journalist. No, actually, there are 3 journalists. One from Al Jazeera, one from this kind of Al Qaeda only. One from Kerala, that leftist, Manorama. No, what is that leftist? Matrubhumi, whoever. These 3 Muslim guys who interviewed me. At the end of the interview, they told me that they liked the film, but maybe that is their. I mean, he had nothing, no other thing to say, because after a point of time, I lose my patience. I am not like you, that I am not like Bhai Sahab, not like Dada Gokhleji, because they could be Gandhian, but I have seen what struggle Bhai Sahab told me. I told you a little while back. I was in Kannur. Bhai Sahab did not know that I am in Kannur. He shouted at me, that is another story. 12 o'clock in the night, I got a call from a police officer from Delhi to tell me that abhi aap log yahan se jaiye, nahi to your hotel is going to be attacked.
Who was IG of the Northern?
He used to be an IG there. So with my team, and we 4 were there, one girl was there. So we 4 took the back door of that hotel. We moved out. We did not inform the hotel authority also. We walked almost like 3-4 kilometers, crossed the border of Kannur district, and then another police car rescued us. So this kind of things had happened. And we have a photograph of CPM flag with CPM and SDPI flag together there. So I posted that in Instagram, and the kind of, besides the abuses for the film, the kind of abuses I got from these people, I realized that no point of being Gandhian when you are talking about changing the society. You have to be aggressive, and I decided to be aggressive. I have no reason to be apologetic to call my Chief Minister, Mrs. Mamata Banerjee, a stupid. I have no reason to use nice words for her. A stupid to be called stupid, and I have no argument, no apology about it, to be very honest.
Nandakumar ji, you spoke about the reality in Kerala. Samuel Huntington many years ago wrote in the Clash of Civilizations that religion is going to be the defining factor of our world history. Kerala is such a unique place for this to be playing out. We have in Karnataka seen the spillovers of that in our border districts. Where are we headed? how has a story like the Kerala story made an impact in the Kerala society? Okay.
Thank you. You have raised a very pertinent question. As far as the Kerala condition is concerned, of course, all over the world, this is a major question which is being raised by any well-meaning in the correct sense, citizen. Okay. See, as far as Kerala is concerned, all the three major Semitic religions, I would like to say, one Islamic fundamentalism and this Christian evangelization and this communist anti-national activities. See, all the three religions, I don't want to say this particular group of people of Communist Party to be called as a political party. It is a religion. Islam is not a religion, but it's political party, and Communist Party is a religion. What which you have raised, that the civilization is facing a threat from these type of groups. The main laboratory of this practice you can see in Kerala. All these major three anti-national groups are working. Another important factor which I would like to highlight is many of the people are asking why these Islamists and Christians and also this communist religion is so active and so predominant in Kerala. You may be knowing, not Sindh or not Delhi or Rajasthan, where in which the Islams came first. It was Kerala. In the shores of Kerala, the Islamist groups first came, not as invaders, but for trade. You may be knowing, Arabia has got very good connection, trade connection with Kerala. When Arabia changed their religion, naturally the traders changed, religion has also changed. Right from that period, Islam was there in Kerala. That means contemporaries of Muhammad Nabi came to Kerala as traders, and later on, of course, for their religious propaganda and everything. And another thing which I would like to say, कितने साल हो गया है इन लोगों का काम ये समझने के लिए, the first Islamic masjid कहना तो ठीक नहीं, it's a पुनरुक्ति, repetition. Anyway, their worship center was founded in Kerala. First means the whole Asia mein first in Kerala, in Kranganur. It was there. And they are believing that contemporary of Muhammad Paigambar, one person came to Kranganur, a part of Trichur district, and started that and founded that Islamic. So the work started very long before, one thing. And later on these Wahhabis, because of this, don't take it other way, Karnataka attack on Kerala, or to be more specific, Mysorean attacks of Kerala, the things have changed. The lot of this fundamentalization or this communalization of Islam started from Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. That is the history. From there onwards, the change of civilization and the change of culture has started in an organized manner. Later on in the, you can see in 70s and 80s, when the Wahhabization and this oil money, oil dollar has started influencing Kerala, this blackization has also started in a huge way. मेरा व्यक्तिगत एक अनुभव, आप लोगों को भी मालूम है, हिजाब का इश्यू ज़्यादा इधर हुए है. When I was studying, in my class, there were 10 or 12 Muslim girls. None of them were attending classes with hijab or even hand scarves even. None of them. But when my niece has passed the SSLC, 6th class, she brought a class photograph, class ka jo students photograph to me. More than half of them were just as same as it is. No one can be identified because their faces were covered. That is the situation which is happening, and the culture is slowly changing. It is, if it is being allowed to go in this way further, I am not a doomsayer, but it is going to happen in Kerala. Same is about the this relationship between the communist and Islam. That has also been mentioned. Typical example of Islamo-leftism you can see in Kerala only. Out and out supporting this Islamic fundamentalist, and even they are joining hands with Islamic fundamentalist and hijab-clad women for the entry of Shabarimala even. शबरीमला में महिलाओं को प्रवेश करना चाहिए, शबरीमला को खत्म करने के लिए when Communist Party started their campaign, you may be surprised, it was a strange scene to see that in the human chain which has been made by the communist people against Shabarimala and against the Hindu civilization practices and customary practices of Kerala, they are joining hands with the hijab-clad women, Muslim women. They are joining hands also. That is happening. So, in that way, Kerala is facing such a huge crisis, and it is slowly spreading all over Bharat. We have to be very much careful about this, what which Dada said. We all have to face it head on. These people are doing this type of business.
Thank you, Nandakumar ji. My last question to Sudipto da, and then we'll open it up. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Who you see on the poster are 4 women. Your protagonists are women. Your victims are women. Your villains are women. The choice on who to love, is it possible for it ever to be a rational one?
Yes, it is. The thing is, the social conditioning in Bharatvarsh is, you have to understand that it is very mixed match. Sometimes we are being dominated by our culture, ancient ideologies, the social practices, and in one side we are into the age of that wood, the West imported culture, West imported music and all. Here, the most difficult part is the choice, making choice of your own ideas, your own culture, your own ideology. So, if you ask me to point out one particular reality, one particular realism of identifying whether it is right or wrong, it is not possible. It's a very complex. You know what? When I was doing the research, I met many such girls. These 4 girls, I met them personally. I mean, Shalini I never met. Shalini's mother I met. Shalini's friends I met. And the kind of dichotomies they gone through. Like, for example, there is an organization called Arsha Vidya Samajam. There are hundreds of girls are right now running this organization, where all these girls who are reconverted and helping other girls to bring back those girls who are at the verge of conversion or already converted. They claim that they have served almost like 7,000 plus girls back to the Sanatan Dharma. So while I used to talk to them. They are very good friends. In course of time they gone through. It is not a forced conversion. I don't find the word forced conversion. It is more like manipulative conversion. The way the whole things has been manipulated, the indoctrination process, the way they brainwash. If you study those girls, I met many such girls who never went to temple, who never took part into, everyday's puja and all in their home. But the moment they converted, they become 5-time namazis. They become aggressive. They become so agile that they started hitting their family people. One girl told me, the girl who spit on, in the film you have seen, Gitanjali is spitting on her father. The girl actually who told me that who spat on her father, she said that I never knew that how I am doing all this, how I did that. Like one girl told me that she was about to go for namaz, and her 3 years old niece was disturbing her. So she pushed that baby so hard that that baby fell down, and that baby got hurt, it got a fracture in the head. So this aggressiveness, it is not a result of one particular notion. It's a very complex character. That is why to me, the Kerala model of conversion or Kerala model of this indoctrination is pretty different from the other part of the country. The organized, you will be surprised to know the girl who agrees to get converted, every day her SIM card is to be changed 4 times. If she has to go from one place to another, she has to change the car 3 times in between. So this is how it's a superbly designed a model work there. So it is a complex thing which needed lot of social research, social study. I think government immediately start working on those girls who are reconverted and come back. That what exactly, I specifically ask them, the moment they take the burqa in hand, what they feel. And the whole process, just imagine a girl aspiring to have burqa and then she wore that. So what is that transitional phase? So these are very interesting things you need to understand. You cannot only blame that the girls who are not being taught Bharatiya Sanskriti. It is a very complex internationally used model being used in India, and Kerala has a successful story. I think I have a serious doubt the same thing going on in Bengal, same thing going on northeastern part of the country also.
As you rightly said, it's that complex and that complexity and the nuance that probably gets missed out. The minute a story like this is told, it becomes Islamophobic. The minute women are put at the focus of these narratives, it becomes anti-women. And this is not there were recent reports that also said that this is also a gender neutral thing where there are men who are also facing the same sort of, yes.
They go through the similar way, the way the radicalization in Kerala youth going on. You have seen that video, there is a small boy, 11 years old boy, sitting on the shoulder of his father, shouting against Hindus.
Not his father, it's a SDPI worker.
So the way that small child is shouting against Hindus and Christians and all, and such radical words, it is not, I will not accept the fact that he was been taught or he has memorized it. He was speaking from his mind, the way he was chanting it in rhythm and all. So the radicalization in the youth of Kerala is real.
Sudipto da, just for tweeting about something like this, we would be called out on Twitter or social media as, all sorts of terrible words, Islamophobic, this, that, WhatsApp University. You have gone out and created a movie that attempts to capture this nuance. I would love to open up the audience, but did you have this, I'm guessing this was a personal fight and a personal struggle. Where did you get your strength from?
No, actually what happened is I started working in Kerala from 2014. Before that, the time I met Nandakumar ji, that was the time I started understanding the subject and met people. He arranged my meetings with the girls, and I saw Kerala from my own senses. I mean the places I went to, Ponnani, where the girls had been the epicenter of conversion in Kerala. So I have seen the places in Kerala, and I realized that the story to be told. And when I made the film called In the Name of Love, Melancholy of God's Own Country, the documentary, it got Best Film Award in London International Film Festival. But first show was in JNU, and it went so bizarre. Even today, one of the security men is getting treated in AIMS, just even after 5 years. So it was that ghastly attack happened against us. So I realized that this is not the way I can tell the story of Kerala. So I wrote the script, the feature film script. 2 years I looked for a producer, but interestingly, in Divine Connection, I got Vipul Amritlal Shah, because Vipulji was so moved. I never expected, because he is the producer of Sing is King, Namaste London, like blockbuster Hindi film. He got moved with this subject. He was in tears when I was narrating the story. So, and I realized that story to be told. And being hailing from northeastern part of the country, I belong to a place which is nobody knows about that place also. It is called Jalpaiguri, at the border of Bengal and Assam. So hailing from that place, one benefit is we have that I can speak truth in public forum, and I get ready for the consequences. I need not to take the shades of support of any political correctness or socially correctness. I have reason to believe that I have right to speak truth. And in my next film also, I am going to speak truth. And this truth is more revealing than Kerala story, I can tell you that.
Thank you so much, Sudipto. We're waiting for the next film, definitely. We'd like to take questions from the audience. We'll make sure to try to get in as many questions. Please keep your questions short and ends with a question mark. So.
So many congratulations, Prashant here. We did screen your movie free in Karnataka, and we have done at least 8 shows, and the 27 crore mark, I would like to give you a number. Being from the film fraternity, at least 1.1 crore people have seen your movie.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
This was released in the month of May. Elections were on May 10th. So we had some issues with the police stations for not giving approvals and so on and so forth. That's not the question. The question is, we have Karnataka file, we have Karnataka story, we have records of murders of Aneka Karyakartas across Karnataka, from Rudresh to the latest killings in Karnataka. There are many, many killings in Karnataka. Have you ever thought of making a film on Karnataka's murder, where young Hindu guys are murdered left, right and center, and we have recorded at least about 300 members, and we being the torchbearers of Hindutva in Karnataka, we are on the hit list of PFI. I get police notices every time that your name is in the WhatsApp group of a Muslim community, your name is in the Dubai Muslim Forum, you take protection. So that's not the story. The story is, can this bring to the story in a cinematic way? So I would like you to put some light on the Karnataka boys being murdered. I want the Karavali files or the Karnataka story to come out. Thank you.
The thing is, I am concerned about that. But for me, I will not be able to, I can make only 2 films a year, not more than that, because filmmaking takes a lot of time. But one thing I can promise, if anybody is making a film on it, anybody has any good script on that, they may contact me. I will help to generate money and make the film. That I can help.
My question is, you made a huge success in your narration, what you made, but also at the same time you faced so much resistance from the left lobby or so-called secularists, which are usually fueled from the Western countries. But nowadays we are seeing that Europe also facing the same issue, because history is being repeated again. Now the libraries vandalizing, the public property is vandalizing, they are attacking on their worship place, what we have seen already in our country in the past. But the same story when we tell to the Western and this lobby, they do not accept. Do you think now they will accept from the Western, not from us?
I have 2 answers to your questions, because wherever I go, I am being asked this question. Number 1, there are 3 phases of my film. One was in November 3rd, my teaser was been released November 3rd, 2022. That was the phase of speculation. Everybody was speculating, the way Bhai Sahab said, that everybody was quite surprised with the number 32,000. My protagonist came to the camera and say that मेरे जैसी 32,000 लड़की इस रेगिस्तान में दफन हो गई. Then the second phase started when my trailer was released. That is on 27th of May, 27th of April. Then that speculative phase turned into direct criticism, direct abuse, social media abuse, and 18 court cases. 18 court cases we fought in last 3 days, 2nd, 3rd, 4th of May. And 4th May, 3rd, 3:30 in the afternoon, we were cleared of all the court cases. All the court cases been thrown out of the court, and the path of my film release was been cleared. So that is the part 2. And the third part is very interesting. The criticism which I was facing, that with the number, they are trying to discredit us, that we have given an exaggerated number. Then it is anti-Kerala. Then it is anti-women. Then there are plenty of left liberal criticism coming up. But in course of time, those voices become very feeble. And today, still there are 33 shows are going on in different places of the country. And today is almost 72 days of the release. So, I refuse to believe that any particular political party or any particular political ideology support made this film so big. I am sure this film has been seen by everybody. This film has been seen by all the patriotic Indian and loved by them. That is the reason the criticism, the loud criticism has become very feeble. They are not anymore criticizing. They are now talking about that it is Islamophobic. Now, you can fight, logic can fight with logic. Logic cannot fight with illogic. So, I stopped fighting with them who are saying that film is Islamophobic. Number one answer. Number two is, this film has not only created an awareness about the issues of conversion. Like for example, I don't belong to any political ideology, but my philosophy, my ideology says conversion by constitutional amendment, conversion has to be banned. That is my understanding. I may not, Nandakumar ji or you people may not agree with me. This is because I have seen the pain of these girls. I have seen the pain, the entire family, not only these girls, but also if 50,000 girls we can trace out that who has gone through this. That means their families, their society, how badly been impacted. And I think conversion is the only reason, that legalities of the conversion. A 18 years old girl can have right to get married to anybody. This is absolutely a fallacy of the societal norms and societal practices. So I don't want to. So besides these issues, the Kerala story has created a separate genre of cinema, which I am not taking the credit of it. Now in Bombay and in many places, like I was talking to, two very interesting things happened, which I wanted to share. I had a long conversation with Rishabh Shetty, the Kantara man. He started making Kantara 2. And that is the reason he said, if I would have seen he wanted to release the Kerala story in Kannada. But there are some issues which he could not do. But he was very keen on releasing the film in his name. So he said, if I wouldn't have made the film, started the film Kantara 2, I would have made a film on Islam, on the issues of Islamic malpractices in this country. He was sharing a story with me. And also Ram Gopal Verma ji, he spoke to me for an hour to tell very interesting thing. He said he was at his best funny moments. He said, I spoke to Rajamouli ji, and he said, I spoke to Rajamouli. I said, you can make 3 RRR, but you cannot make 1 Kerala story. So the thing is, it is a funny side of it, but what I can say that one organization had come out with a one-liner that cinema been made to earn 100 crore, but the Kerala story was been made to awaken 100 crore. So I think Kerala story, you all made Kerala story such big that it has emerged out as it's a genre by itself. Now many films will be made in the same line, in the same ideology, and I think this is how the change comes in the society.
Hi, Sudipto Sir. তোমার সাথে দেখা করে খুব ভালো লাগলো. I wanted to speak to you in Bengali and very nice to meet you. Plus, congratulations on your movie. Really amazing movie. Just going to take a second. One of the many parts that I enjoyed about your movie was at the part when the girl who has gone to Syria, on the way to Syria, I think, she had said, I want to talk to my mother. Can you give me your phone? And then they said, in Islam, phone is banned. So then there was a statement that was there which was very funny. It's like when Islam was that time phone was not created. So that was actually a very well thought statement. Now coming to my question is that you have created an awareness for love jihad, right? And now people are actually aware about it, and there are many things. So what are your views if you think that apart from love jihad there are going to be other jihads that might be created because of this awareness? What are your views on that?
See, by naming love jihad, like in the girls in Kerala who has gone through these ordeals, they don't call it love jihad, they call it love trap jihad. To me, it is more like intellectual jihad, because it do not only take away your senses, but also your thought process. It goes inside your brain. It like cancer, it percolates all through your body. After a point of time, I mean, there are thousands and thousands of examples, stories has come to us after the release of the film. That I got surprised that this country has so much of story to tell about how this manipulative conversion culture has been spreaded and nobody is ready to accept. That it is, we all are in denial. He was talking about Europe. Europe wants into denial, but Europe never, I mean, political parties in those countries do not fight by using these issues of the refugees. Refugees were always a separate part of their societal existences. But in our country, these issues are very much part of political game. The appeasement of minorities are the super powerful means of political system, and it has no exception. And if you talk against the political appeasements, then you become anti-Muslim, you become Islamophobic and blah blah blah. So I don't have any, being a filmmaker, I responded to my feelings towards those girls I met. I met hundreds of girls and I had no other option but to make the film. Honestly. I was not driven by, Nandakumar ji never told me, he guided me all through. But he never told me, Dada, go and make a film. It is my conscience said that my medium is cinema and I can express my pain, agony, love, emotion through my cinema. So I made the cinema. And yes, I was always consulted him because I wanted to be historically correct. If you see my film, there are many minute emotional aspects of Kerala life. Being a Bengali, it was not possible for me to get into the minds of the Malayalam family societies. So, like him, many Malayali friends helped me to do that. So, I think it's a collaborative effort, and I will be very happy that the style of our narrative of this country for art and culture it gets changed. If the way he said, I am so grateful that he uttered this word that the cinema of this country is divided in two parts, pre-Kerala story and post-Kerala story. If it happens, I will be the most happy person that thoda sa to contribution kar liya, hailing from a small Himalayan hamlet.
I'm not denying, but you have to take consideration about his health, because I would be the only person going to be blamed if if he is going to be admitted in the hospital again. So because of me only he came here. I mean, I would like to say correctly. Anyway, तो सिस्टर has asked, बहन जी तो अनेक जिहाद के बारे में बताया था. Yes, we are facing land jihad also. There was a film in Kerala, and the filmmakers are not claiming that they have made that film on land jihad, but it was actually on land jihad. Those Malayalis who are sitting here, they may be knowing, one Mepadian was there, Mepadian film. It was a success in a sense, okay, but it has not been a very huge success like Kerala story, but there are responses coming in that way. Another point, to give Dada some breathing time or drinking that water, I am taking this time. See, as far as Kerala story team is concerned, I would like to congratulate them. I am using this opportunity before you, that he has mentioned about AVS, Arsha Vidya Samaj. It's an initiative, spearheaded by girls. They cannot be called as women even. Almost all of them are below 30 years old. They are in Kerala socio-political religious condition. You know how much dangerous is working for Hindutva there. Even Sangha is fighting like anything. Then some girls came forward and they have started a movement in which 7,000 girls were taken back. It's a very big story, big success. And my point is that this team, actually, you know, when a film producing group has become a very big success, they will not think about the society. First and foremost thing the team, Sudipto Sen and Vipul Shah did was invited the authorities and office bearers of AVS to Mumbai and gave them, they never demanded any money, 51 lakhs. At that time, the producer hasn't got the money back. You know the financial situation of this type of film. It will started coming back only some months. I don't know all those things. August. But before that, from their pocket, they gave, because they are constructing some building and everything. I am using this opportunity to tell before you, such great hearts who are sitting here must support such movements also. I would like to request you to support such movements happening there, especially in Kerala. Just, I am using this opportunity. You can ask one or two questions more, not much.
Being a girl, I am very much thankful for you for bringing this movie, because this was a harsh slap on our society, because we are not openly speaking about this. This movie might have saved life of thousands of girls or lakhs of girls. And you know, hearing a fact that we hear that even Christian missionaries are targeting our Hindu girls and as well as Islamic people. So do you feel there's a race between these missionary and jihadis to convert these innocent Hindu girls? And in upcoming days, do you think it'll gonna increase, or maybe because of the movie, people are more aware? But somewhere our girls fail to understand the message, what is there in this movie, and still think it's just a propaganda or something. So what is your take on this?
As you correctly said, love jihad, land jihad, entire issue you mentioned about Jayanagara. Bangalore is facing the brunt of land jihad. It's an economic jihad, which you are seeing in Uttarakhand, Himachal, Uttarakhand districts, and very, very particularly border districts of West Bengal, Assam, and Punjab. So here I'd like to say I travel a lot. After your movie was released, I was in Morocco, Tunisia, and Egypt. Last year I went to Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan. Before that I was in Albania. I was so happy that Tunisia, when Professor Kaji inquired about your film, though he has not seen. Why I am saying that in those countries, Tunisia, you must be knowing, the first president of Tunisia banned hijab and burqa. Officially, it is banned in Tunisia because people are thinking that about Islam. And again, if you go to Kyrgyzstan, the national poet of Kyrgyzstan, Rudaki, he translated Panchatantra into Persian. I'm saying that in those countries, the nature of Islam became very progressive. If you meet any Albanian, they say, I'm Albanian first, then I'm a Muslim. Will the day ever come in India where Muslims in India will say, I'm an Indian first, then I am a Muslim? Will the day ever come in India? I wish, but anyhow, if you trace the history, the politicization of Islam started in post 1857. It's not that today or tomorrow. Post 1857, and Mopla, how the Indian National Congress took a stand on Mopla. I'm saying that all these issues together, my point is that will ever Indian Muslims say that we are Indians first, then the Muslims?
I think combining both the questions, I think Nandakumar ji will be the right person to tell, because she mentioned about Christian conversion, because it was the issue of love jihad has been mooted by the Christians. Now it has been hijacked by the Muslims later on, but I think Nandakumar ji will be able to tell you much better from the sociological context.
I think another one also, Supriya ji has allowed another last.
As an actor, I would like to ask you one question. At first, I thought Sneha Unnikrishnan is not too difficult to play that role, but after that, now I am feeling like no one. I can't imagine any other girl in place of Ada Sharma. So I would like to ask how you chose her. After writing the script, through auditions you chose her, or she was your first choice?
Thank you. We'll go very quickly.
Excuse me, sir. So, did you receive any threat actually? Like Vivek Agnihotri received lot of threat.
हाँ, मुझे उनकी क्वेश्चन एक टेक्निकल क्वेश्चन था, वो जवाब दे देते हैं. Ada was not my first choice. My first choice was Sai Pallavi. Sai agreed to do the film, but later on, after I think she has been told not to do the film. And then there are Kirti Suresh. There are few South Indian actresses. We spoke. They primarily agreed, but later on they denounced. I mean, the script was not easy. You can understand for any actor who has some kind of doubt about our audiences. So Ada, when we had to choose from Bombay actors, then Ada was the first choice, because Ada has done this kind of character before.
That Behenji has asked about the two forces which are competing each other. Yes, that was the situation. That was the situation some years back in Kerala, some decades back, when the Hindutva forces or nationalist forces of Kerala started campaigning against this Muslim terrorism in Kerala. You may be knowing a wonderful program we have undertaken. It was Rashtra Raksha Sanchalan. From Karnataka's border to Tamil Nadu border, there was an Aghanda Patha Sanchalan. The main slogan was raised in this way. It was actually coined by none other than great Manya Krishnapaji. Krishnapaji has coined that word, Tasmat Jagrata Jagrata. You all have to be alert, alert. It's a Vedic call. That was the message. Actually, the program was against this communalization of Kerala politics, conversion happening, love jihad, land jihad. It was way back, 25 years back, I am saying, not now. It was a great program. But do you know who were the first opponents of that program? The Christian church. They came out and out in support of Muslim fundamentalists and saying that these guys are targeting us all, so we have to face them combinedly. That was the situation at that time. I am cutting the story short. Later on, what happened? One poor professor who was an English professor, he was a literary professor of Todula Newman's College, one Joseph. He made a question in which the name he mentioned was about Muhammad. It was actually taken from a story written by a Muslim novelist actually. But when this Christian professor made a question out of it for the question paper of this degree students, suddenly it became a big issue, and you know the rest of the story. His right hand, it was asked that you have written that question by this right hand, unko Mataji or unke Srimati ke samne. That was the cruelest part of that incident. His hand was chopped away. Then this Christian church woke up to the reality. That has happened some years back, and yesterday, day before yesterday, the punishment has been given. The Christian church got a shock. This is the story. Actually, the Kerala history is something different, and we have to join hand with the Hindutva forces in fighting against this Islamic menace. That has happened, that has started in Kerala, and that is why the Christian bishops, even cardinals, immediately after Joseph Sir's incident, Christian church didn't come forward. They are in a denial mode at that time also. You may be knowing his wife, because of poverty and because lack of food in the house, because he was suspended from that college which was run by church. And she, Salome, his wife, committed suicide. And later on, now the Christian church is slowly changing, and Cardinal himself came forward and talked about this love jihad. And so, as far as the present condition is concerned, there was not that fight with Hindus by the Christians. They are always in support of this Hindu movement and against the Islamic fundamentalist forces. That is part one, which you have asked. But of course, you know, the Christian evangelization groups are always in search of proselytization. They want praise, they want victims, they will do it. But as far as Kerala is concerned, now they are at the receiving ends. So, the very first case I have mentioned about that K.T. Shankaran's judgment, in that also one was Christian girl. So that is the situation. As far as Sir's question, you are all aware about the fact that nowadays this UCC discussion is going on, UCC debates. Not only Tunisia, sir, even in Pakistan, no Muslim can marry second wife without the permission of the court. Tunisia is considered to be, yes, it's a Muslim, predominantly Muslim nation, but it is considered to be a secular nation in a way. Lebanon, all those nations, they came forward with so many laws in which civil laws were being made common. But strange is the situation in Bharat. Our politicians are very much arguing for the cases for this Islamic fundamentalist. Actually, this is not for Muslim women, not Muslim society as a whole, to satisfy a handful of Islamic fundamentalist leaders. That's happening. What was the case of Jammu Kashmir actually? Was it for the Pahadi Muslims? Was it for the Bakriya Muslims? It was only for some handful of Islamic fundamentalist leaders who were living in the valley, including I don't want, Abdullah family and all those families. Not for the general Muslims, but poor are they, those Muslim general mass. They are not understanding what they are facing now. You may be knowing in 1937, there was a law enacted by the British. That was a main turning point in our this UCC discussion all started from there. That was Sharia law made mandatory for all Muslims. Do you know, till then, right from Punjab, northwest province to Kerala, many of the Muslim, especially the converts, were following Hindu laws. I know Kerala. In Kerala, majority of the Muslims were following Marimakkatayam. Marimakkatayam, you know, you may be knowing what is, that was the rule. That means son of the mother's side is being taken, maternal system of family law and civil law. That was followed till 1937. Punjab, northwest province, Madhya Pradesh, all part of Uttar Pradesh. In Awadh, there was a Muslim sultan who was ruling. Right from 1857 onwards, 1867 onwards, Awadh was ruled by Muslim, but they passed a common civil code. That was following. But British, who were well versed in the divide and rule policy, they made it mandatory for all Muslims, and that has happened. And again, another story is there. Recently, Gurumurthy wrote about it. You might have read about that. Actually, that law has been made with some manipulation in the law. What was it for? For the benefit of Jinnah personally, and some rich zamindars, Muslim zamindars. Actually, Jinnah didn't want to give his property to his only daughter Dina. The rule has been manipulated in such a way that the father can make will. Actually, Shariat is not supporting the will being written, all that. And will write kiya, Dina ko ek bhi paisa nahi diya. That was his personal revenge because Dina married to a Parsi man. This fool is us not remembering that his mother was a Parsi. Jinnah's mother was a Parsi and his father was a Hindu. Actually, Jinnah's father was a Hindu. That's a different story. He was converted because of the foolishness of the Hindus of Gujarat. That's another story. Just like a modern Kala Pahad, Jinnah became. Whatever it may. Father was a Hindu, mother was a Parsi. His daughter was in love with a Parsi man. So with that revenge, Jinnah didn't want to give that palatial building in Mumbai, some 2,500 crores worth building also. He has given it to some other person. That's a different story. So my point is, these rules which are being made mandatory for Muslims are also not for the common Muslims. It is for some Muslim leaders and rich Muslim political leaders. But the question is whether we are coming forward and raised our voice en masse. हम सब आगे आना चाहिए. दादा बीच बीच में कहते हैं मेरे को दादा को बताकर, दादा गोखले को बताकर, they may not agree with me. We are with you, sir. We are not against you. Right from the beginning, see, conversion को ban करने का विषय में था. Through allurement, through threatening, and every conversion cannot be banned, sorry to say. But the thing is that through allurement and through threatening, the conversion cannot be made. That rule is to be made. That is the stand of any nationalist in Bharat. That is there. So another part which he has mentioned, every person must come to the street if it is needed and head on this particular menace, this sarapa, this sharp is going on. We have to fight it out. If you are not ready to face it in this way, the things are very dangerous. Things are coming fast towards us, this dangerous situation. The youngster was asked, now already I have answered to that. Giving an example of AVS, I have given you the age of those girls, not boys, those girls. Most of them are below 30 years age. One among them, one pracharika of that particular samaja has given, her example has been shown through that girl, that Christian girl, no, that Hindu girl, communist father's daughter, and the spitting of that on father's face by that Christian girl. All these examples were given by those girls who are running that organization. They are fighting against like anything. Do you know, they were thrown out of many buildings which were, they were functioning on rent. From Tripunitura, from Trivandrum, they were thrown out. On a fine morning, they were thrown out of it. Now they are trying to construct their own building. For that purpose, Vipul Shah and Sudipto Sen from their pocket gave the first donation. I think that is not the end of the story. They are going to give more. So in that way also we can support it. And we have to work like those girls also. That's also a need of the hour. What else we can do? Educating the public through our own models and examples, we can do it. Supporting such movements, that's also another way that's needed. And also, Supriyaji has mentioned very well about that all of you must see the plight of Kerala story now. It was a huge success. I hope that more than 300 crores were collected from theatres. I don't know. Much more than that in the foreign collection was not included in that. I think so. Is it called? Yeah, will you face any tax problem by revelation? Anyway, it was a huge success. Any OTT can freely take, not without payment, without any second thought, they can take it for financial benefit also. But why Amazon is not taking it? Why Hotstar is not taking? I would dare to ask, why Jio is also not taking it? Why Z is not taking? One ecosystem is working against it. Ecosystem. Many films you have highlighted, you have said examples about some other films. but there are enough balancing game in those films. The first and foremost and the most beautiful part of Kerala story, they never tried for this stupid monkey balancing in this film. No monkey balancing. They show the truth as it is. That is why this ecosystem is working against this. What we can do, this is one of the main things, you can demand through public letters, starting some complaints through social media, why it is not being shown in OTT. Who is working against it? Just ask the question, let us start it from here. Of course, the first premiere has been shown here. Though these complaints can also be, this work can also be started from here. I hope, I don't know whether all the questions are being addressed or not. I'm sure that questions, the answers are not fully satisfactory, may not be, but still it has been addressed, I think so. Thank you.